Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Another Wednesday. It's Wednesday, October 7th. I'm Dr. Tricia Pingle. This is your morning checkup. We're going to be talking about an awesome essential oil today, so I'm going to wait for you guys to join in, and we're going to talk about one that maybe you're not overly familiar with. It's one that's not commonly used by most people or thought of by most people. So, yeah, do you have anyone over there on Facebook? Can you give me a wave? It's one of those days where I'm just tired. I think it's October. It's crazy. Does anyone else feel like there's just tons of stuff going on? Maybe the energy out there is just a bit weird, but this morning I got up and I was like, oh man, like I gotta get focused. So I had my coffee early. I took the time to sit with my kids outside. The weather is cooling here in Arizona in the morning, and so I have a fire pit on the back patio. So the kids and I turned the fire pit on, and I made them hot chocolate with almond milk, and had my coffee out there with them. So that was nice. My husband was out riding his bike this morning, so it was just kind of a quiet morning with the kids. Thank you. My hair is so pretty. It's kind of a mess. This is kind of what happens when I don't do anything, but thank you. We're going a little bit with a bedhead today, which is fine with me. Whatever. So good morning. Most of you are here. You're off from work today. All right. Nice. I'm in that last week where my kids have a week off and then they go back to school on Monday. So my husband and I are quite excited because we realized they've been home since basically, I think March 15th or March 17th. They have not gone to school. So, I mean, that's many months of kids just sitting at home. And so they're pretty excited. So we'll see how it goes. And it's true. It's almost Christmas time. It's crazy. It's like you're planning all this stuff going on. So yeah, quite the time. But anyway, nice to have you all here. I'm excited to be here. I kind of switched my subject up on you. I was actually going to do a beauty live today, hence the bedhead, and but we're going to do that a different day. My time got behind on me. So today I've decided to talk to you about an essential oil that actually has quite a few medicinal benefits, and maybe you're not aware of it. So I want to add one to your arsenal. Now, I'm someone that keeps diffusers going all the time in my house for the most part. On Facebook, I know you can see it behind me. I have a little bamboo diffuser right there. Instagram, see, I've got a little diffuser back there, and right now it's diffusing some rose oil and some lavender oil, which I use commonly in my office just because it keeps me calm and focused. But in my house, I use a lot of antimicrobials as well, a lot of blends depending on the time of year to make it smell more fall, but also protect against viruses and stuff in the air and all of that. So another essential oil that is very helpful with that is lemon oil. So I want to talk about lemon essential oil. Now, finding a good sourced oil matters. There's a lot of crap oils out there that are other oils and not so much an essential oil. Now, I can't name brands, and I'm really sorry about that. It's part of the licensing stuff. I don't know. If it was my own brand, I can name it, but I can't really name other brands. But I can tell you, make sure that you have a pure, well-sourced lemon essential oil. Now, this doesn't stop any of you out there, and I know there's a lot of you on Instagram that are in essential oils, that sell essential oils. Feel free, put brands down. Totally fine for the listeners. Put it down below. I just can't say any, okay? But there are a lot of great brands out there. So make sure with any essential oil that you are getting one that is good quality, okay? And then we'll dive into the benefits of why you should look at lemon. Do any of you use lemon essential oil in your blends at home? I find most people don't. You've heard about it with cleaners, like with vinegar and vinegar type cleaners, but a lot of people don't think about adding lemon to their diffusers, which is really a shame. So I want to tell you why you should. I'm going to be messing with my hair. It's literally like all over the place today. Oh, well, so be it. I guess we'll just shake it and just go with it, right? Okay. So we're going to talk about lemon essential oil. Let me get my little notes here so I can keep up with you all. So you're going to be pretty amazed with what lemon oil can do. I think a lot of people add it to cleaners, so you see it a lot in bathroom cleaners, you see it in countertop cleaners, things like that. And you can certainly add that. I use a blend, someone's saying they use it with grapefruit. I do as well. I use a blend of essential oils with a little bit of alcohol, essential oils, and water, where I usually use things like lavender. I'll use any type of citrus, sometimes orange, sometimes lemon, sometimes grapefruit, peppermint. I love the smell of peppermint with citrus. So you can kind of, mix up what you like based on what benefit you want and also the smell that you want. And if someone's saying they use a certain brand of oils, yeah, definitely a very popular one and well sourced. So yeah, I think that's a great one. But yeah, go ahead and label them down for people to know, because I can't really tell you. But let's talk about it. So one of the most amazing, I think, and best uses of lemon oil is its ability as an antimicrobial and antifungal, okay? And this is in the air. So one of the things that we're dealing with right now in the world is airborne viruses, and how are we going to keep them from spreading large distances, right? More than 6 feet, closer to 6 feet, 20 feet, who knows, right? No one knows the real distance. I mean, the bottom line is it depends on the air circulation, depends whether you're inside or outside, right? But if we could also be diffusing things into the air that minimize particles of any sort of microbe, to me that makes sense. Particularly in hospitals, particularly in clinics, in places where there could be high infection rates, those types of things, it can be very beneficial to use essential oils. Lemon oil is one of those. So there was a 2019 study that measured the efficacy of using different certain essential oils in reducing microbial contamination in 2 hospital wards. Okay, so before the oils were diffused into the air of these hospital wards, the researchers measured the amounts of airborne bacteria and fungus in the wards, okay? Then the researchers diffused both lemon essential oil and silver fir essential oil into the air. They found that after 2 hours of the oils being diffused, the airborne bacteria were reduced by approximately 40%, and the airborne fungi were reduced by 60%. Okay, so in 2 hours, it reduced it by half by simply just releasing these into the air. Now, there's other benefits of smelling it as well, so we'll get to those. So I'm sure the people in the hospital wards were grateful and very low stressed and feeling great. But in addition to that, it also lowered the pathogens in the air, which means less infectivity, which means less problems, right? Meanwhile, let's see. No, wait, I was going to say I like to mix a couple different things with citruses, particularly lemon. Peppermint, I think, is a great addition. You'll see a lot of citrus and peppermint together. Lavender, I love as well. Lavender is very relaxing. You add that little citrus kick to it. So you can mix it with a lot of different things. There are many other essential oils that are also antimicrobial. So you can mix those all up. I use clove quite a bit. Which is a great one. Peppermint in itself has a lot of antimicrobial ability, not to mention it helps open the sinuses and breathe. So I think that's always a great one. What I do is I add maybe 2 or 3 drops of lemon oil with other scents into water in a standard diffuser, okay? You don't need a lot, okay, especially with citrus, okay? Another thought is some people use essential oils as a perfume. So you could also, put it maybe down on your chest, behind your ears, below your nose, so that microbes don't have as easy of a chance of getting in there. So, okay, so that's pretty amazing. 40% bacterial reduction, 60% fungal reduction in the air from simply diffusing lemon oil and silver fir. Isn't that crazy? Right? How many of you guys do that, like during the cold and flu season? We're entering it, right, here in the cold and flu season. Our cold and flu season here in Arizona doesn't start for a while because we basically have your summer weather right now. It is absolutely gorgeous here in Arizona right now, so we don't get cold per se until maybe December, January, maybe, and cold is a stretch. We don't really have a winter. I think our cold and flu season here starts usually about mid-November and runs through about March. But something you can start doing now is diffusing oils to minimize viral load in the air, you know? Great thing if you're having, it's a small gathering. If you're having a small gathering, great thing, diffusing antimicrobials through the air is probably always a good idea. Okay, definitely in hospitals and clinics and offices where you have circulating air, a lot of concerns about catching viruses comes from being in spaces with common, air ducts and things like that. So using diffusers at your desk would be a great way for you to clear the air around your desk. So I would highly recommend that. Very easy. You can get diffusers anywhere. Just get a high quality essential oil. You guys are quiet today. Good topic, bad topic? All right, let's talk about what else it will do while it's going through the air. The other thing it will do is it helps relieve stress. Okay, so lemon oil, in addition to getting rid of these indoor air impurities, lemon essential oil benefits both your physical and mental health by relieving stress. There was one animal study that compared lavender, which is very commonly used for stress. Okay, so lavender is a pretty common one. So they compared lavender and rose oils to inhaling lemon oil, and they found that inhaling the lemon oil actually had a better impact on reducing stress in the mice than the lavender and rose. Now, lavender and rose is a very popular combination that I use. In fact, in my diffuser right now, I've got lavender and rose. I use lavender and rose a lot. I love the smell of rose. There's something about it that reminds me, I think, of my childhood. It's not even the anti-stress response. I love the smell of rose. And then adding the lavender, whenever I'm in here working, the dogs are dead asleep. Okay, I have 3 dogs and they're loud and they like to play. In fact, I had to take Piggy out of here today because she was totally fixated on that darn ball. But every time my animals are out here, I'm going to try to show you, they're basically asleep. There's Emma. I'll show you Emma too. Probably because I've got lavender, there she is, down there sleeping by the chair. I've got lavender going in the essential oil pretty much every day. So most of the time, anyone who comes in here just wants to pass out on the floor, right? It's very calming. It's very calming for me. Where can you purchase a good diffuser? You know what? They're available everywhere. I think I got the one back here, which is just a bamboo one from Amazon. I actually like the shape. I will say I've kind of played with different diffusers. I know on Facebook you guys can see right in that area, the diffuser. Can you see that back there, Instagram? That little bamboo diffuser. I actually like the shape of those better. I feel like they last a little bit longer with water, and I feel like with them domed up like that, the longevity is a little bit better. I have a few in my house that are straight, that are just like almost like a water bottle type thing, and those I don't find the water just flies out of them. There's also one that's like an ultrasonic that pulses and lasts longer. I don't have the brand of that. I'd have to look, but all of those I got on Amazon. Most of the grocery stores now have diffusers. You can even just put, you could just put some drops of oil around the house. You could boil them on the stove in some water as well, but I do recommend the mist from the diffuser. It seems to be the easiest way to do it. So, but yeah, I do like that shape. I have a bigger one than that in my living room because I have a larger living room and it really works well. So look at what size room you're wanting to put it in and the decor and just kind of go with that. Okay. All right. So lemon definitely reduces stress. So you're lowering the microbials in the air and you're calm. Now, number 3 was an interesting one and may surprise you. They've actually found evidence in the research that lemon essential oil can help support your weight loss goals. Now, I'm not saying that by simply just inhaling lemon essential oil, you're going to lose weight, okay? But what they're saying, what they're finding, and this is actually kind of cool because they do all these studies on different essential oils and see what the physiological benefit is on the body. So there's been some interesting research here. There was a study where the smell of both grapefruit essential oil and lemon essential oil benefited weight by activating sympathetic nerve activity and supplying white adipose tissue with nerves. So basically, white adipose tissue is the fat that kind of ends up around our midsection that nobody wants. And there's nerves that go to that, okay? So what they found is that these would stimulate nerves going to the adipose tissue. And what that would do is it would facilitate the breakdown of that fat, reducing some harmful fat that would suppress weight gain. Now, I have no doubt that you would have to be eating right and exercising and doing other things as well, but I found it interesting that they could find that it could innervate that fat area. Like, that's pretty cool. So I don't know, maybe there'll be more studies on that. I suspect there will be. This is a little preliminary. There weren't a ton of studies on that, but I found that one so interesting, I had to include it. And I'm interested to see how that develops in conjunctive therapy and adjunctive therapy for weight loss. Have any of you heard anything like that, using lemon oil for weight loss? Or any of the doctors or practitioners that watch, any of you use that? I'd love to hear more about that. That was a new one to me, Usually I keep up on all of the research as best as I can. And that one I was like, wow, okay, well, that's kind of cool. It's kind of fun what you find out there. Number 4, enhances concentration, mood, and creativity. I don't think any of you would doubt that when you smell citrus, it kind of just lights you up, right? Just kind of, you smell uplifting. Citrus is a great oil to use in the shower. Put a few drops in the shower with the steam. If you don't have a diffuser, that's a way to do it as well. It's a great one at your desk. If you could do like some potpourri or a little, even some cotton balls with lemon oil in a little jar, just right by your keyboard, so that when you're typing, it's going right up into your nose. It definitely has been shown to enhance concentration, mood, and creativity. And there was a study in 2005 on 58 fourth grade students. Now, I have a fourth grade student, so I think I might have to try this for him, because his concentration's a bit lacking at times, which I'm sure most fourth graders are. But they did it on fourth grade students, and they diffused lemon essential oil in the classroom for 4 weeks, and they found that they had better test performance, right? The students showed significantly improved attention and concentration levels, as well as improved moods. So if any of you out there have been doing this homeschooling thing since March, I've been looking for 1,000 different ways to keep my kids focused, how to keep them looking at the computer, how to keep them from like hanging upside down like a monkey in their room while they're doing classwork. I mean, I would walk in multiple times to check on my fourth grader, and he would literally be hanging off the edge of his bed upside down holding a laptop, and I'd be like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm doing math. Okay, upside down math. They have a hard time concentrating. So maybe try putting, for those of you that aren't heading back to school, I know a lot of the areas on the West Coast are still not heading back to school. Try putting some lemon essential oil or any sort of citrus essential oil in their room and see if you can get them to focus longer. I might try that during homework time. But this isn't limited to kids. There was another study on 56 healthy adults that revealed that lemon essential oil significantly enhanced positive moods and elevated their norepinephrine levels, also elevated their immune function. So norepinephrine, we talk about that a lot when you're overstimulated, how it can be a problem. But when you're really low, and you just can't concentrate, it's that norepinephrine that kind of helps you focus. The reason why adrenal fatigue becomes a problem is we pump out norepinephrine all the time, and we never have that down rest. We're supposed to down rest and then send it out so we can concentrate. So if you're always burning the candle at both ends, you basically use up your norepinephrine, right? So if you can have those moments where you use oils and meditation and lifestyle to calm the body down, then you can use things like this to pump it back up. The beauty is, though, citrus essential oil also has that stress relieving impact. So it has a little bit of a dual function, which, the less you have to buy, the more bang for your buck, the better for me, right? That's what I always say. But there's also pretty cool studies on that with moods and immune function as well. How accurate are those results if it's only 1 or 2 studies? Well, I'm only mentioning 1 or 2 studies. There's quite a lot. The way I look at it is, in order to do a study, you have to get funding. So when you look at nutrition, essential oils, these are not big pharma. We don't have the budgets for that. A lot of them are cohort studies where you're following a group of patients, watching their response, documenting response, which is really what practicing medicine is all about. A lot of the medicine that I do is watching people improve and learning what works, what doesn't work, and then comparing that to the research. But a lot of the times, if there isn't, billions and billions of funding, they can't do studies with 1,000 people, right? So what they do is they start with smaller sample sizes, they get a positive result, and then they can apply for grants to get bigger studies and bigger studies and bigger studies and bigger studies. Unfortunately, natural medicine is not the focus of big pharma. It's becoming that way. If you notice, they're starting to come out with zinc supplements and vitamin C supplements and probiotics in the pharmacy world. Why? Because they're seeing these small studies that our community is doing, and they're funding them and giving them more money, and they find that it's absolutely working, and then they decide to invest in a supplement. Unfortunately, they're not always investing in the right form of the supplement, right? So they'll see that zinc is great in studies, and they'll make a zinc sulfate, which doesn't have anything close to the efficacy of a zinc picolinate or a zinc bisglycinate, which is what they use in the study. So there's a little bit of an interesting hiccup there, but or they'll use the wrong form and find that it isn't helpful, right? So there's quite a, it's quite an interesting, studies are an interesting thing. I always take, even if there was a study of 2,000 people, I still take it with a grain of salt, look at how it works, consider it for people, and see if I have a clinical efficacy as well. So I think on the essential oils, is pretty good data, pretty good statistical analysis on these studies. They're just smaller studies because they don't have the funding. Does that make sense, Emma? It's sad. I wish there was more funding for these types of studies, because anything that's natural, anything you can do yourself, I think is beneficial, but that doesn't benefit the company to invest in it, right? If I was going to ask you to invest in something, if I was like, hey, Emma, I want you to give me, $1 million to research lemon essential oil, you would say, well, how am I going to get my money back? Right? I mean, that's business, right? So, you have to always consider that, okay? Read the fine print, look at the possibilities, consider it. Lastly, it can help repel insects. Now, we're moving out of our mosquito season, but as you know, the commercially sold bug repellents contain DEET, D-E-E-T, which can be very, very toxic. In fact, in 2009, there was a study, and there are so many studies on this, tons of studies on this, but in 2009, there was a study that found that DEET actually contains behavioral monitoring properties and may even inhibit cholinesterase activity, okay, which has to do with your brain function. Okay, lots of toxicities to commercial bug sprays. We've talked a little bit, I think, about tea tree oil as a bug repellent. I think I know we talked about tea tree. We might have talked about citronella. There was a couple others. Lemongrass, I think we talked about that one. But also consider lemon, okay? I do have a DIY bug spray at drpingle.com. I do indeed, where you can put a bunch of essential oils together that actually helps with reducing and removing those bugs from you. Things like witch hazel with a few drops of different essential oils. Citronella is common, although I find the mosquitoes still like me when I have citronella on me, so I do better with things like lavender, lemon, but there was a study on lemon oil in regards to this. It was a certain mosquito, and I'm going to totally butcher the name. It was found to repel a species of mosquitoes called Anopheles stephensi, which is actually the mosquito that carries malaria. So it had a very specific impact on that particular mosquito. Lemon essential oil did. So that's interesting. And you got to think about that. I suppose we have all these different species of bugs that can infect us, and each essential oil has a different impact. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Lemon oil specifically against the mosquito that likes to carry malaria around. Good to know. All right. So Can reduce airborne pathogens by up to 60%. Lemon essential oil, put it in your diffuser. Number 2, it'll help you calm down. It helps relieve stress. Number 3, there's some links that it might have an impact on your adipose tissue, supporting healthy weight management, which I thought was pretty interesting. Now, going back to Emma's point, would I put full weight in that one? No, I'd like to see more studies on that, but I find it interesting. It prompts a, right? Wonder how that would happen. Number 4, concentration, mood, and creativity. I should put some lemon oil in mine today. I'm kind of stumbling over my words today. It's one of those mornings. And number 5, helps repel insects. So that's some ways that you can use lemon essential oil. I have a question, anything to watch out for when buying essential oils? Look for other carrier oils, like if they're putting a bunch of other stuff in it. I mean, an essential oil is pretty darn essential. It really shouldn't need a bunch of other fillers in it. They're usually really small bottles. You can get bigger oils. I know I can get bigger oils in the being a doctor, but I don't know out in the community if they're really going to be more than a 1 ounce, maybe 2 ounce bottle. If they're much bigger than that, they're either going to be really expensive, which means they could be valid, or they're going to be filled with a bunch of stuff that isn't the essential oil, right? Being asked about ticks, I didn't have any direct studies on ticks, but I would absolutely guarantee you that there's probably quite a few essential oils that work against ticks. Do any of my essential oil gurus know any? I know you guys are out there. You comment on it quite a lot, and I love it. There are some people that just spend so much time in essential oils, and it is such an amazing discipline. And I wish that in naturopathic medical school, we would have had more focus on it, because this has been something that I've learned from some of you and from practitioners that I've worked with that have taught me the different essential oils from reading the research, but it wasn't something that I formally used. I guarantee you there's some that work against ticks, William. If any of you know any that work against ticks, let William know. He's on Facebook, but Instagram too. If you pull it out there, I'll transmit it over there. So, let me see. I think the rest of you were just kind of saying hi. Lemon and other to combine, auto or pumpkin. Yeah, William, I think you can combine it with pretty much anything. I would think sometimes I have a blend, an autumn blend at drpingle.com. It uses orange oil, but you could sub lemon oil for sure. I think there's cloves, cinnamon. I don't have it right in front of me. I'll pull it up though. I make all sorts of different essential oil blends, and I try to write them down so I can share them with you guys. But in this particular one, 2 to 3 drops of cinnamon oil, 2 to 3 drops of clove oil, 2 to 3 drops of ginger oil. And on my recipe, I had 2 to 3 drops of orange oil, but you could do lemon instead of orange, or grapefruit, or any type of citrus. Had an answer for you. Lemongrass works great against ticks. Thank you. I use lemongrass quite a bit against mosquitoes as well. So thank you so much, lemongrass. Yeah, I'll have to look up some studies on that as well. But I have no doubt bugs don't like those strong smells. So unfortunately, my poor husband, I rub these oils, I spray him with all sorts of stuff, and the mosquitoes still seem to love him. He must have very mosquito happy blood. But for the most of us, they kind of stay away, right? So anyway, thanks for joining me. It was kind of a fun last minute topic for you guys today. Lemon essential oil. I would really like to do a beauty do it yourself this week. So we'll see if I can pull that off tomorrow. Sometimes that takes a little bit more setup with the kitchen and trying to see if my son will come and let me put something on his face. But I do have a section at drpingle.com on beauty DIY, which like homemade masks. I'd love to know if you guys would like to see more of that type of thing. I love to hear what topics, excite you, what ones you share, the ones that your friends love. Because that's why I'm here. I want to educate you, and I want to educate more than you. I want to get this around. I want more people to learn about natural medicine. So if there are certain topics that you find you're like, yeah, please do that, I love sharing it, let me know. Just general broad topics are always helpful to me. I'm trying to work in some food. I'm trying to work in some beauty recipes, some essential oils, some vitamins, some conditions, some mind-body type stuff. So I try to work in all of that regularly. But if there's anything in particular that you're like, yes, please tell me more about this, holler, okay? You'd like to hear more about beauty, great. I'm looking at doing an eye mask. I was gonna do it today, and I just did not have enough time this morning to get everything put together. It's so easy too, but it's just the whole camera aspect of it. Trying to get it on camera actually takes more prep than the actual recipe. It didn't work, Carolyn? Okay. I'll email you about that. I think I have your email address. Make sure capitals matter. Make sure you write it is exactly as it is. I will go in and make sure when I get off the live that it's working. So you might want to try it again. Give me an hour or so. And if you want to try it again, go for it. Okay. But yeah, I really want you to use it. So, what if it's a bundle? If it was a bundle, it won't work because it's already 10% off. So sorry, when you order from me, I like to give you incentive to order again. So often I'll send out coupons for 10% off your next order. My bundles are already 10% off, so it won't apply to the bundle, but it'll apply to all the individual, if you want to do individual add-on products. Sorry, misunderstood. It should work though. Does that make sense? Puffy eyes serum, perfect, because that's exactly what I was looking at to do today that I may try to do tomorrow, which is a dark circle treatment made from 3 ingredients in your kitchen. Cool. Okay? All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a happy Wednesday. I'll see you guys here tomorrow about the same time. Okay? Take care. I'm Dr. Tricia Pingle. If you like this, please like, share, comment. Visit drpingle.com, sign up for the email list for more offers, more articles, more information. Okay, thank you so much to all of you for your support. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.